It's been a while. I know the 4-5, ask a 4-5 anything kind of just went off the rails. Things got busy, I had to take some vacation, I got sick, and also more importantly, I'm actually not a 4-5 anymore. So that ask a 4-5 anything is now deprecated for another 2.5 or 3 years, or until the future shows that it needs to be brought back. So right now, this is a new series called Ask a 5-0 Anything. And this is my newly renovated place. By place, I mean studio, because I live in a 2-bed, 2-bath. This is my spare bedroom. I'm actually getting ready for a live stream. I do live stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays on my YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't already, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more original tennis content, whether I'm going live or uploading videos for you guys. With that out of the way, let's get the very first Ask a 5-0 Anything started. Tag is asking, and by the way, Tag is a Yonex brand ambassador and my 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th favorite moderator on my Discord server. If you don't have a link to my Discord server, I'll leave a link to that down in the section below. He's asking, if you coach, should you have different racket and strings for teaching and playing? For full-time tennis pros, I would say yes. For part-time tennis pros such as myself, or tennis pros that hit with high-level juniors and adults, I would say no. Having like a loose synthetic gut or loose poly in a powerful oriented racket like a Babylon, that's probably a good idea. But for me, because I only coach part-time, and when I do coach, about 75% of my clientele are rising juniors, either high-level varsity or even higher, going to like D3 or D1 college program. So for me, I have no use for it, but if you're a full-time tennis pro or if you're feeding a lot, I would say there's some good use for it. So thank you, Tag, for that question. By the way, if you guys want my take on your question, go to the Q&A with Mark text channel in my Discord and drop a question there. I'll be doing this weekly. Thanks. Rural Junior, are tennis vacations worth it? To be honest, I don't know, because I've been invited to teach tennis clinics with Essential Tennis. So he pays for my trip. He also pays me some cash on the side for my time. But it really depends on your situation if you're actually not teaching. So to be honest, I would do a cost-benefit analysis on some sort of Excel sheet or Google Sheets just to see if it's worth it based on time, meaning could you be working your hourly or your salary job? How much is your PTO actually worth? The actual cost, like hotel, the academy, or tennis vacation fees and flights, stuff like that. And then also something that's really not talked about is like, how much do you actually want? And that's definitely an emotional thing. So the emotional thing is a little bit hard to gauge, but I'm sure that if you crunch the numbers, you could make a very logical decision based on what you know. So Rural Junior, thank you for that. Stud Puffin is asking, do I pre-stretch my strings? If so, how about making a tutorial? I personally don't pre-stretch my own strings, but if I'm stringing with natural gut or a very, very soft multi-filament like Technofiber NRG, Technofiber X1 Biphase, or Wilson NXT, or natural gut, I would definitely pre-stretch anywhere between 10 to 15%. A tutorial, I don't know, that's kind of a niche thing to be honest, but if you have an electric tensioner, there should be a pre-stretch button or pre-stretch mode on it that you could give like 5, 10, or 15, or maybe even 20 to 25% pre-stretch before the actual tensioning of the mains or the crosses itself. So Stud Puffin, thank you very much. Karen, who is my first, second, or third favorite moderator on my Discord channel, is asking, what is my leg day routine? Let me get back to you on that, because I actually have access to a private gym and I could show you guys my tennis workouts. I don't want to take this camera setup to a public gym just because it's very rude and I would be following people all day in a very creepy manner, especially leg day. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that for this channel to see. How am I going to approach my match with Adam at the ET player court bracket? Eric Likes Eaton is actually, you know what? You know what, guys? It's getting a little stuffy in here. Let's take it to my other room. Wow, this lighting is absolutely horrible. Horrible lighting. Anyway, Eric Likes Eaton is asking, how am I going to approach my match with Adam in the ET player court bracket? To too late because the match already happened. I'm not gonna spoil anything. So you're gonna have to wait on that. And it's really hard for me to even answer this question like retrospectively. Like, I think the match was recorded, wow, the match was recorded like 3 weeks ago. I can't even put myself in my mindset 3 weeks ago, a few days before I played my match with Adam. So you guys are just gonna have to just wait. I believe it's gonna be out next week, but I was very, very expressive and very open, logically, believe it or not, to the confessional camera, so you guys will definitely know what's going through my brain when I'm playing my match with Adam. Fabrice Santuro with the very last question for this AMA. Did I end up hitting with Winston Dew at Indian Wells? I did go to Indian Wells, I vlogged it. I'll leave a link to that vlog, and I think I did a pretty good job with it based on the metrics. I'll leave a link to that vlog in this corner if you guys haven't checked it already. If you guys have never been to Indian Wells, really check it out, but it's really cool. And Indian Wells is obviously going on right now. So did I end up hitting with Winston Dew at Indian Wells? Unfortunately not. The scheduling didn't work out because I was teaching 6 days with Essential Tennis and Ian at Palm Desert, which is right next to Indian Wells. But still very grateful that I got to witness the 5th Grand Slam, Indian Wells. So that's it for today. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And the lighting kind of sucks here right now. It's a little bit of a mess. I mean, just take a look at this for my B-roll. So, future Mark here, and I forgot to record the podcast setup when I started uploading videos for this AMA. So I did get a new kind of like workbench, aka it's a kitchen table, but I consider it a workbench. Over here, this is my old one. I gotta get rid of it somehow. And I gotta get a better light setup for this entire thing. But this is where the host is gonna sit for the podcast, which is me. And then this person is gonna be on the bench here. So it's gonna be a pretty cool setup. We need just a little bit more decoration and soundproofing because as you can kind of hear, it's a little bit echoey. It's not bad, but I strive for only the best for you guys, for your viewership. So podcast coming soon. Don't worry, guys. I set this up because I am going to do podcasts now on this YouTube channel, and also at, I think, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Those are the 3 that I'll be distributing to, but more on that information later. I'm like 95% done. I should be recording my very first podcast with a special guest that you guys are familiar with tomorrow. As of the recording of this video, so Friday. So probably when you guys are watching this video, I'll be recording my very first podcast, and I think the topic is gonna be pretty cringy. Not cringy, pretty controversial. Tag my 5th, 6th, or 7th favorite moderator, who's also a Yonex brand ambassador. Shout out to Tag, by the way. He recommended that I differentiate myself because there's a lot of tennis podcasts out there. So obviously the twist that I'm gonna do with podcasts is very dark humor, pretty controversial topics, and not even necessarily swearing, but topics that most adults are afraid to talk about in a public setting. So be on the lookout for that later. And as always, guys,